Hey guys, Dissection of Violence. Man, we had a fun one today. Freaking 25 units made, 10 and 5 on picks. Let's get through it. We have Filo um versus Daniel Perez. Apparently Filo got hurt to the body and Daniel Perez didn't capitalize. I didn't watch the fight. It was a quick fight, so but Filo with the nice win. Um the guy Perez, man, he just can't his jiu-jitsu. He got exposed. I thought Hernandez isn't known for his grappling, but man, that was rough. Perez is truly just one of the regional guys. He's not really UFC quality, I don't think. He's good, like he's decently good, but like UFC is a different kettle of fish. Like Filo is a beast. Good win for Filo. He is a monster on the ground, for sure. Yeah. If I could give him a next matchup at the weight class he's in, I would have to say. Let's see. We have where's Fieldhole? Fieldhole. Jafel Fieldhole. So Jafel Fieldhole just beat um did Brez. So I don't think that should put him up the rankings too far. I think he should fight maybe a let's see. Maybe Alessandro Costa or maybe Victor Altamirano. Maybe one of those guys. I think that'd be a fair matchup next up for him. I'm gonna give him Victor Altamirano. Moving on, we have Bruna Brazil taking on Shanna Bannon. The first two rounds, I thought Bruna won those handily 2-0. She wasn't doing a lot, but she was doing more than Shanna, however you say it. But Shanna, she didn't really start looking UFC quality until the third round. Maybe it was the nerves, I don't know, but she just didn't look very good in the first few. And she isn't an amazing fighter. She is, you know, she's all right, but she's like never gonna be a champion. But she's okay. Bruna Brazil, I feel like she has more talent, but in that third round, I feel like Bannon wanted it more. So that's the thing with Brazil. I'm gonna keep noted is her mental is probably her biggest weakness. Um, yeah, it is what it is though. Man, it's women's MMA. What are you gonna say? So we got Bruna Brazil, Shanna Bannon. Let's see what we got for you girls. I think you guys are what, 115? Yeah. Man, it was cringy as not gonna lie. This whole fight week with her. Oh my goodness. Bannon, I mean. Like she's a good looking girl, but man, like I don't know. Just I don't know. Some moments for me, like in the press conferences and she's just a little too much, for me. But anyways, Bannon. I want to see Bannon take on Victoria Dudikova. Then I want to see. I know I don't usually don't do it for losers, but I thought Bannon fought a good fight, so I want to give her an opponent. And then Brazil, if I could give you an opponent, it'd be Vanessa Demopoulos, just because she's coming off a loss, and this is a test for you to see if you're actually, UFC quality, or not UFC quality, sorry, UFC contender level. Moving on though, Yanal Ashmouz versus Chris Duncan. So after the first round, it was a Duncan fight. I was really depending on hammering Duncan, but Chanel wasn't gassed. He was still dangerous, so I couldn't do it. As long as someone has the power to put Duncan out, I am not live betting Duncan. He has been chinned a few times, or no, one time now, and in that Campbell fight, he was chinned a few times. I'm gonna give it to Chris. Those two are very high, very good strikers, so I'm gonna give it to him. Schmooze, he hurt his wrist, broke his wrist, whatever, in the first round off a kick. That changed the fight. Right from there, he was done mentally. He fought in spurts, so he wouldn't try, and then he would try, and then he wouldn't try. But man, that guy is tough. He gained my respect. He's one tough, one tough young man for sure. He's got a future for sure. I don't know what it involves, but he's got a future. Chris Duncan, I like Chris Duncan, man. I think he's making improvements. He's a hard worker. You know, he's huge for lightweight, but you know, it makes him a little slower at the weight class. But I noticed his speed improvement in this fight. He looked good. His feints were on fire. He was kicking good. His knees were on point. It was a technical clinical performance by him, and I really liked it. Um, Duncan, if I could give you a next opponent, I don't know if you're quite ready for the Rebeckis of the division. So let's give you maybe Trey Ogden. That's a real test for you. I think Trey Ogden versus Chris Duncan would be a fun one, and it would put him up in the rankings, or not in the rankings, sorry, closer to the contenders. I feel. Moving on, we had Ketlin Vieira versus Pani Kianzad. Pani, man, that knee injury or whatever she had, I had no idea about her knee injury. If I knew she had a knee injury, I would have hammered Vieira. Pani Kianzad, without her, man, she is terrible. And she had a good third round. I'll give it to her. She's got heart. She's got submission defense, but that knee injury is going to be the kryptonite of her career. She can't defend shots. She's not athletic anymore, or at all. Like it is what it is, man. Like 16-7, it's not a bad record, but like if that knee injury keeps up, how long can you keep staying in the UFC fighting like that? You can't defend a takedown. What are you going to do when someone who actually can chain wrestle grapples you? I mean, Vieira's a good grappler, but she's a bit like she has bad cardio. Um, and she gives up on herself sometimes. Like there's a lot of paths to victory for Panny. That's why I took the split decision here. I just wasn't sure how this fight would go. If I knew she had a knee injury, it would have been a different story. Moving on though. Or no, yeah, we have to do one for Vieira. Freaking, she doesn't even deserve one. I mean, she does. That's a lie. But like that third round, man, like you're gonna be a champion after fighting in the third round like that. Like, I mean, I guess Nunes is gone, but I don't know. God, it's kind of sad that once Nunes gone, things just like the closest thing we have to a really good fighter is Buena Silva. Like at least in this division, I don't know about like the 115 is where you get more skills, but like 120, holy 135 is an absolute dumpster fire. Not gonna lie. Other than like Haley Cohen's got some. Like I like Haley. Haley's good. Arena Dalina has talent. Holy Home. She can't grapple, but she has talent. Vieira's decent. Pennington's just a dog. Pena number one is a joke. She'll be booted from the rankings soon. Man, it's an interesting division we have here. And if you want to think that's bad, you should see featherweight. Anyways, yeah, Ketlin. If I could give you a next fight, it's pretty lined up. I think a rematch with Home would be cool, considering you lost to her the last fight. But it is what it is. Moving on. We got Mahmoud Murata versus Brian Barberena. I'll speed this up for you guys. Probably already at, yeah, actually, we'll keep it at the same pace. So, yeah, we had Mahmoud Murata versus Brian Barberena. Brian Barberena, why did you go up and wait? Maybe it was just because the third round, that's when you really started to feel yourself. But, man, like, you're not athletic enough to be a 185er. You are short, a little bit tubby. Like, man, you're not a 185er. You're a little hefty for 170. So why are you like? If anything, you should put on muscle for 170, or maybe a little bit of muscle. To give you more athleticism to maybe stuff some of these takedowns, man. Like whatever though. Brian Barberena is a dog. He'll die a legend. It's all that matters. He wasn't meant to be a champion anyway, so it's just kind of frustrating. A very winnable fight for Barberena, and I was on Muradov, so it is what it is. But good win for Muradov. You did what you were supposed to, so good job. Yeah. Moving on. Or no, we have to do his as well. Yikes. Let's see. Guess I'll look later. Anyways, yeah, Muradov. Let's give him. Let's go Soriano. Both of them don't have great cardio. Puna can't kick, so I want to see how it goes. Moving on, we have Mick Parkin versus Jamal Pogues. I like Pogues, so I'm gonna pick my words wisely. Um, he's just a little overweight. He can't be as fast and in and out like he wants to be. The heavyweight he is, he's just too prone to leg kicks and being slow. And Parkin looked like a good size heavyweight, but he was in good shape. That was the difference. Parkin was actually flowing really good, better than a lot of heavyweight fights I've seen in a long time. Parkin, he like Aspinall, has a lot of skill. I'm wondering how he does with how his potential, sees out. I don't know about champion like Aspinall, but he's definitely a very, very, very good fighter for sure. Good win for Parkin. A little bit lack of finishing ability, but he can work on that. I mean, Polk is probably a hard guy to finish, but I don't know. I haven't seen Polk get finished, so it is what it is. Parkin at heavyweight. Let's see who you get next. Parkin. It's not too many heavyweights, I can't imagine. So you should be getting somebody fairly decent. Yeah, exactly. Well, let's go. I like me a Jay Collier matchup, or a Chris Barnett matchup. Maybe give him Waldo or Cortez Acosta. That's who I wanted him to fight next. Get him out of the UFC. Moving on, Yoel Alvarez taking on Mark Giacchesi. Controversy! Gotta love controversy. So I had overall Yoel Alvarez. He was piecing up Mark Giacchesi in the first round, getting clipped on occasion, but for the most part doing the damage. What I was worried about with him is if he doesn't get you out of there in round one, yes, he's still dangerous, but that cardio drops like significantly. So I'm gonna be careful about that in the future. Great win for Alvarez. He's always gonna be a problem on the ground. His jiu-jitsu is very good. But man, we got to be careful with that cardio. He throws everything in that first round, and he gasses it after the first. So he doesn't like death gas, but he noticeably slows down. I'll keep that in mind. But yeah, great. Okay, I was about to say great win. So yeah, in the second round, we enter the second, and the thing at the end of the first, he got taken down, and he just got controlled. Alvarez just doesn't have. He was trying a few things, but he couldn't get anything going because his back was really close to the cage. Moving on to round two. An accidental headbutt that the ref didn't see leads to Mark Giacchesi being all disoriented and wobbled, and he didn't get the time to recover. So Joel swarms him with the ref not looking, seeing the injury, and that forces Mark Giacchesi. I can't remember how the sequence went, but I remember either he got snapped down or he dropped, and Joel Alvarez cinched up a Darce choke, or I think it was a Darce choke, either that or an Anaconda, one of the two. And he submitted Mark Giacchesi, and the announcer called it a head and arm choke, which was kind of funny. But yeah, Yoel Alvarez, he's a talent for sure, but he's definitely sus as hell as far as his wrestling and cardio goes. Yeah, good win for Yoel, or not good win, but win nonetheless. We're gonna move on. 155. Let's see, 155. Yoel Alvarez, he's pretty high up in the rankings, eh? Maybe a matchup with Big Money Morcano, Guram Kutaledze would be a fun one. Let's give him Guram Kutaledze. I think that would be a good one. Moving on, we have Johnny Parsons taking on Danny Roberts. Man, I should have put the house on Parsons, man. Roberts this was the easiest win they could have gave Parsons. Just like if Peak fought Rob. The only fight that I would give a chance to Peak is Danny Roberts. Only person. Just because of how freaking dumb Danny Roberts fights. Yeah. Anyways, Johnny Parsons with the win. Great win. God, man. I can't even say great win because Roberts' chin has been ran through like a trap house girl. Like, man, like he is. I'm surprised he's still fighting, man. Honestly, if my chin went like that, like no, I wouldn't be fighting no more. You ain't gonna be embarrassing me like that on TV, bro. But whatever. I guess he's probably getting a good bag from the UFC. He's probably gonna fight his contract out, maybe then retire. I don't know. Either way, I respect what he's doing. He's still fighting, still trying to be a warrior, getting those dog fights. But if the chin ain't there, the chin ain't there, you know? Let's get into. I don't know why this one's taking so long to load. Yeah, there it goes. Right as I about to click it to reset. So Parsons. Let's see where you fit into the equation. Okay. Okay. So we're getting near the. Okay. I think a fun fight would be Matt Brown and Johnny Parsons, but they probably aren't going to do that. So to protect Matt Brown, so let's give him. Oh, by the way, that's my mouth. I ain't farting. Yeah, I want to say Tim Means, but he's damaged goods as well. Screw it. Let's go Tim Means. Tim Means or Nico Price. Give him another easy win. He says he wants to fight and welcome MVP, but that's a terrible idea. Terrible idea. I know he's a bladed stance, so you could kick the leg off him, but man, the way he was getting chinned on a few occasions, man, it's just a little too hittable for my liking. I think if MVP touches him a few times, it's going to be a game changer. So I don't like that matchup for him. I want to see him fight another veteran, have a nice war with him. I think those are the fights that are really going to, do Johnny well. Fights where even grapplers, I don't care if he fights grapplers, but as long as he is the better striker, I feel like it's a good fight for him. Even though against mostly grapplers, I might have to pick against him. Yeah, I don't know. The thing with Parsons is I want him to get in these good fights. I don't want his career to be, ran through by wrestlers. I want him to have a good career with strikers because I don't think he's chasing the belt, but he is chasing a good career. So give the man a good career. Moving on. Uh, so Davy Grant versus Daniel Marcos. Oh, so this fight, now there was some more controversy. So Daniel Marcos, he is doing nothing, but something at the same time. He is actively every other minute landing a combo or something, a leg kick. He also busted out the nose of David Grant with one of his jabs or something. Those optics alone were giving me worry. And unfortunately, and also I had the plus 450. This was one of my most prized tickets tonight. I cashed the plus 300 Duncan by decision ticket, and then I cashed this plus 900 uh, Marcos by split. I had a gut feeling we would be hearing and still undefeated. They left. It's just it is what it is. Marcos gets to win. If it makes me that much richer on the day. Man, I'm not complaining. You're gonna give me this free money. I'm not complaining, man. That's awesome. I'm a happy man. Man, I know it's a robbery. Davey won that fight. Like I said, he wasn't doing much of anything. Davey was the one putting the pace on him. But he wasn't getting always the better of the exchanges, which is why the judges might have been confused. It was a third round which really cemented Davey, but in the judges' eyes, maybe he was down to. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's so optics why. That's why I see it now. It's not what I think who won, it's or what everyone else thinks. It's just optics. How could a judge possibly see this fight? You have to just look by that because that's the only way you're gonna live bet with these judges, man. It's ridiculous. Anyways, I'm not saying it was a good decision. I'm just saying we cashed and we're not crying tonight. Lots of people are crying tonight. We ain't one of them. So let's go. Yeah. So Marcos, he beat Davy Grant. What else can you say? It's a great win. 19 in the division, shoots you right up to the freaking rankings. That's crazy. Give him Montel Quick Jackson. I want to see that fight bad. Give him Quick Jackson. That's a fight. Or Jonathan Martinez. One of the two. I'm a happy man. Moving on. I just want to see strikers fight strikers, grapplers fight grapplers, and then if it's a grappler fight striker, make it a good one. Moving on. We have Lerone Murphy versus Josh Kulibao. Kulibao let me down. He is now referred to as Kula Bum. He is not a bum, but the way he fought tonight was very questionable. I don't know if he had an injury coming in, so I'm gonna leave him alone. But yeah, this was very unfortunate. I needed him to win one round. He is tough though. A lot of people would have caved to that liver kick. But man, I just don't rate Lerone Murphy that much. I think he's very good, but I just think like if you're going to a split decision or a fight that actually you should have lost with Gabriel Santos, man, there's gonna be guys in that division that are gonna hurt you. Hurt you. Waiting for that day, and when that day happens, I will be here to call it and say, I told you this man is a frauding incoming. I'm not saying he's a bad fighter. I'm saying he is not a championship level fighter just yet. He needs to have that one loss that will really make him go back to the drawing board to change some of his holes. Maybe he already does in the offseason and sees them and looks. He probably is one of those fighters. He's very good, very, very smart fighter. But I just feel like, man, he needs a lock. That's the thing with these undefeated fighters. Given he is beating some decent, very good guys, I just think, man, if you give him one more like Josh Kulabau level guy, you're gonna start seeing the cracks in the armor. And I just one day I got this pick wrong, but man, it is what it is. I'm not gonna cry over spilled milk. It is what it is. Hmm. Someone got exposed. Uh, anyways, so yeah, we got Ron Murphy. He won. Big big whoop. It is what it is. Let's see who Mr. Murphy gets to fight next. He's getting pretty up there, eh? Give him Bryce Mitchell. Give him Bryce Mitchell. Someone who don't belong in the rankings. Moving on. Perez Zion versus Jai Hybrid. Man, I don't even want to talk about this fight. Such a boring fight. It was battle of the leg kicks and who can clinch the hardest. And I feel like Vered's got the better of the exchanges.
Bro, how you in the States using my tickets? How you in the States using my tickets? How you in the States saying you bet on
Anyways, I'll check that in a sec. But yeah, Phariseem, man, he's slick. I'll give it to him, but he's not the greatest at all. He's okay though. He looks pretty sharp, pretty composed. But cardio problem's still there. So I'm excited for someone to show that again. And the grappling prob is still there. He just has pretty good takedown defense. But yeah, Phariseem, 155. Let's see what we got for you at 155. Is he? No way, Fair. Yeah, Fair's about to pass McKinney in the rankings. That's hilarious. Hilarious. Let's give him Rafa Garcia. Rafa Garcia. I want to see how he does against that pressure. That beast of a man. Moving on. Paul Krieg versus Andre Muniz or Andre Soyboy Muniz. He has no wrestling. Cardio is terrible or not the greatest. He can't take being a nail. Got TKO by Paul Craig. What do you got? What else is there to say? Yeah, Paul Craig did look a lot better in middleweight than he did in lightweight or light heavyweight. So there is that. But at the end of the day, Paul Craig's still Paul Craig. He pulls guard, and you can't be losing to a man who pulls guard. Andre Muniz, no, big no for me. Fade wise, moving on. Can't believe I even thought he was a confident pick. Um, yeah. What do I know though? Moving on, we had so yeah, who does Paul Krieg get to fight next? Well, I think Paul Krieg should fight one. I don't know. I think Gastelum has a fight already, so not Gastelum. If not Gastelum, give him Brunson or give him. Actually, that's a terrible goodbye fight for Brunson. So give him Kyle Barrio. Or Joseph, give him Joe Pyfer or Kyle Brown. I just want Paul Craig gone and done with. Not saying I don't like watching him fight. He's always fun to watch fight, but that's the thing is like until now he hasn't really fought. He's just there. But this is a new Paul Craig. Maybe I might like starting to watch him fight. He does this like face to face, so intense, and he just I thought it was just soy because he always just did pull guard, but and, he's adapted to striking, better striking, and good on him, man. Paul Craig, we have some opponents for you though. Definitely some dangerous opponents for you. Imagine him versus Izzy. Whew, that would be funny. Andre Fili versus Nathaniel Wood. Wood, man, it was a clear win. I was worried they were gonna rob you, so I had to do a live bet on Fili. But man, Wood, he is too good. He is one tough hombre. For eating that hook and just coming right back. Wrestling he's just so talented, man. I love Wood. Wood is just such a technician, great fighter. And yeah, I think he has all the makings of a future champ if he just keeps plugging away. I think he's super young as well. Um, yeah, great win for Nathaniel Wood. He's such a fun fighter to watch fight. Very technical. If you're a fan of technique, damn, how is he ahead of Nathaniel Wood or Murphy? That's funny. Anyways, so he beat Philly. So now we got Nathaniel Wood taking on maybe a Dan Ige. Probably that would probably be the next route, but never know. Maybe a Dan Ige, not a I don't know. There's not a lot of options to be honest at featherweight. Moving on, we have Julia unless he fights now. Julia Stoliorenko versus Molly McCann. Molly McCann. I love Molly. Always will for being a badass. She doesn't annoy me as much as she annoys y'all. She annoys everyone else. I don't like seeing her lose as much as everyone else does. I actually was rooting for her. I picked her to win because of how bad Julia is. But Molly's terrible at grappling. She said her coach wouldn't let her compete until she learned how to grapple. Oh my goodness! What they just quit after the first week of trying to make you grapple? Like is what it is, man. Julia Starilenko. Uh, Apparently she's a black belt in jiu-jitsu as well, so good on her. She's a wicked armbar submitter. She's just a great armbar. I can't even say the word. I'm not that good at like speaking, so I don't know if you've noticed, but yeah, Julia Storilenko. It's a nice win. First round submission plus 700. We called that shit, man. If Molly doesn't get the TKO, she gets subbed in the first round. It's just how it usually goes. But yeah. Moving on. We have Tom Aspinall taking on Marcin Tybura. What do you know? Tom Aspinall gets it done. Round one, TKO. Tybura, he got TKO'd by Sakai in the first round. What did you think was going to happen? That was my lock of the card. Usually I don't screw with the main events as a locks, but this one was just too easy. It is what it is, guys. 10-5 on picks, 25 units on the card. Can't do much better than that. 28 minutes dissecting this card. Holy, did I? Yeah, I gave Wood an opponent. Okay, so I'm not that far behind. Let's give Storilenko an opponent quick. What is she? 125. How the heck did she fight at featherweight? Um, hmm, come on. See, this is what you guys have to deal with. You got to deal with my slow Wi-Fi, whether it could be on my phone or something easy, quick. Okay, there it goes. So 125. Let's see what we got here. Yeah. Okay. So Storilenko, luckily, she's not even close to the rankings. Actually, quite the opposite. Where is Molly? Molly's right there. So beating Molly puts you right in line to fight an Antonina Shevchenko or a Ariana Lipski. Ariana Lipski. Give her Ariana Lipski. I want to see her win again. Or Lipski to win again. Moving on. Tybura versus Aspinall. Let's get a fight for Tom. Big Tom. Actually, I don't even need this. Fight Sergey Spivak or fight the winner of... Screw the winner. Fight Sirgan if he wins. Or fight Sergey Spivak. Or Sergey Spivak. Sergey Pavlovich. Those are the only two options for him. I want to see it. This man is too good. I think he's going to be a champion. Mark my words. The guy's too freaking good. Until next time, guys, like, subscribe. Let's crush next week. We got a pay-per-view next week. I won't be at for the first time in 2 cards. uh, let's enjoy from the comfort of my seat at home for this week. It's a little cheaper than going there in person. All right, guys. I'll see you next time. Until next time. Peace.